Hey guys, my name is Joey Thomas, entrepreneur and small business educator here with 17 Hats. In today's short video, we're going to talk about the importance of qualifying your leads, and I'm going to give you a method on how to do that. So there's a difference between a lead and a qualified lead, and it's important to identify what's what. So a lead is simply a contact. It's information. It's someone's phone number and email address and someone who may not be really interested in your service. They're at the top of your sales funnel. So although you may get some leads from an email list or someone filled out a form on a website, they may not be directly interested in your products or services yet. Qualified leads, on the other hand, are narrowed down and they've shown interest in your product or service. They fit much more into your target audience that you set out to reach. Now, we want to identify and nurture these qualified leads as they are more likely to become an actual customer or client. We don't really want to waste our resources on leads that aren't a good fit. We want to convert with minimal time and cost, and ultimately we want to add value to the people who want that value, right? To the right people. So I'm going to give you a method today that you can use to help you qualify those leads in an effective way. Now, you may have already heard of the BANT framework. BANT is B-A-N-T, and that stands for budget, authority, need, and timeline. So let's break that down just a little bit. Now, applying this framework is going to help you systematically qualify your leads, and you can approach this in different ways. You can insert this in phone calls, emails, in-person questionnaires. There are different ways that you can apply this framework. So first of all, we have budget. Ultimately, will they be able to afford our product or our service? Now, I like to put my starting price or a range very early in the client experience. Now, it's either going to be on the website. Now, if they miss the website, it's going to be on that first phone call or the first meeting. I will let them know at least a starting price or a range very early in that conversation. And that helps me identify if at least they have the budget to move forward. And if they do, and they continue to show interest, I can start asking a few other questions. Secondly, we have authority. Are we getting our message to the right person who has the authority to sign off on the decision? Who should we be speaking to? I like to get on an initial phone call as part of the lead qualification process, either an initial phone call, a Zoom call, or meeting in person. But I'll make sure that all parties that are involved in that decision-making process will be present. That is key, because we don't want to have a great conversation, adding a lot of value and helping people understand your value, and yet the person we spoke to can't make a decision about your product or service. We don't want to run into that. So definitely get the people who have the authority or are part of the decision-making process in that conversation. Next, we have need. Does your lead actually need your service? Make sure you qualify this lead by clarifying the problem that your client has. And you have to identify a fit, define a fit between their problem and the solution that you have, which is your product or their service. Unless they perceive your product, what you're offering, as a solution, they're not going to commit. So let's make sure to take some time and listen and identify what their real needs are. And it goes a long way to qualifying your lead. And then lastly, we have timeline. Are they just shopping around right now, or do they need your solution right now? Have a conversation with them about the implication of waiting and how that affects their bottom line. If they see a need or affects their bottom line, their situation, their circumstances, how it affects whatever it is that they need their service for, if they wait, is it going to be detrimental? If they see a need for it right now, they're more likely to take action. Now, like I said before, you can do a version of all of this through emails, through phone calls, in-person meetings. I use questionnaires in 17 Hats to ask a few questions. Even in my automated email that goes out, that I set up through my workflows, I will, like I said earlier, I will let them know what the budget is or what the budget should be by giving them a starting price. Just make sure at least to touch on these areas and identify if they are actually a qualified lead. And that way, they feel more comfortable, you're asking the right questions, they develop that trust and that connection with you, and they become a much stronger lead, which ultimately will turn into a client. So guys, use the BANT framework. It's simple. Find areas in your client experience and workflow to plug it in, and you're gonna find that you'll be working with much better leads that are a better fit for you and your brand. So thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully that was helpful. If you haven't subscribed to the 17 Hats channel, please do so right now so you can get notifications and like the video, hit that little bell icon, and I'll be back with more just like this. See you again soon.